Okay, just because it's so fun, we're going to keep reacting to millionaires melting down about Trump's election win just a few weeks ago.
This is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory.
There were appeals to racism
Now people are trying to cope and say, it's not a mandate, blah, blah, blah.
in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
I can't help but wonder
Keep bringing that stuff up, see how this works.
if the American people have given up on democracy.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite.
This is the guy in 2016 who said it was a white lash when Trump won. Van Jones, guy's out of his mind.
Who are hurting tonight.
If you were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, do you think she would be losing by that much?
They can't help themselves. It's all they know. It's so deeply embedded in their brain. It's going to be so difficult for the Democrats to pivot out of this.
To be honest, among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months.
That's so corny.
It's not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of
All men are bad. What a big brain comment.
hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Things we've all been talking about,
Dude.
who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
To all the pollsters, the election pollsters, blow me. I don't ever want to from you again, ever.
People who said that he
It's actually a good take from Jon Stewart. He's kind of like a 50-50 guy. Sometimes he has terrible takes, but polling might be gone. It might just be betting markets moving forward. How do you trust a poll in 2028 now?
was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
You gotta be kidding.
That was a funny end to that. Okay, we'll continue on here. Let's watch a few more. The View's MVP of Trump derangement syndrome, Sunny Hostin.
So again, I'm profoundly disturbed that the 14th Amendment of the Constitution did not prevent someone who participated in an insurrection from becoming president of the United States. I think that going forward, the convicted felon box on employment applications better be taken off, because if you can be the president of the United States, then you should not be prevented from employment in this country, because
People are clapping for that. No wonder they have such bad takes. They get rewarded for being out of their minds.
I remember applying for my jobs as a federal prosecutor, and there was a box for convicted felons.
We're all gonna have to wake up tomorrow morning and work like hell to move the world to the place that we prefer it to be. And I just want to point out, just as a matter of perspective, that the lessons that our pundits take away from these results, that they will pronounce with certainty, will be wrong.
Jon Stewart now does sound pretty reasonable. I think some people make the argument that he is to blame for a lot of the political partisanship and how it just feels like a sports team, left versus right. His show back in 2004, 2005 was incredibly partisan, in my opinion. He would go after people, go after Fox News all the time. I mean, I do think he has some blame of just how polarized the political climate is now. He was like the main dude back then for like basically saying Fox News sucks, blah, blah, blah. And he was incredibly respected by millions of Americans.
And we have to remember that.
I literally could go on all day, and yet you talk to Trump voters and they'll go, he didn't say that. Wait, now I didn't hear him. And then you say, well, here's the quote. And then they'll go, yeah, he didn't mean that.
I didn't expect it to be.
But then they're going to go to Mar-a-Lago and kiss the ring.
this resounding, and I think there are some lessons from it. I think we forget about rural America. I think the working class feels left behind. They feel like the powerful, the elite only care about them and their power. And he spoke to them. We may not have liked his words, but they turned out for him.
It's not the elite that's going to pay the
She decided after the election to go back to sounding reasonable because she was basically on the Trump derangement syndrome train with the rest of the View.
price. It's people who woke up this morning with a dream and are going to bed with a nightmare. And those people didn't deserve to be respected and held and talked to. Those are the people who are going to pay the price for whatever Donald Trump decides to do.
I'm mystified in some ways. Who are we as a country? And we're starting to find out.
I think this is a big, huge part of the story that it's hard to even digest fully at this moment. But you have Elon Musk, who owns Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it these days, X, who is a disinformation propagandist and now has a...
Oh, give me a break. There's community notes. Just they cannot handle the fact that all the social media is no longer left-wing. All these liberals got so spoiled over the last decade of having such preferential treatment on all these platforms. People on the right wing get shadow banned, get outright banned. Hardly ever happened on the left. Now they cannot handle that they don't have basically all the control of all the social media. Elon Musk buying X was just a pivotal moment in world history, I think. And I don't even, by the way, like X that much. I like it, but I think there's serious problems. I think YouTube, I actually think TikTok, in a sense, is a better platform for free speech. Yes, there's a whole bunch of topics you can't touch, but small accounts can get a lot of reach on TikTok. X is just basically a platform for established accounts and established people. If you have small amount of followers on X and you post something, nobody sees it. You're just like blasting it off to a server for it to sit there. On TikTok, at least every post has a chance to be seen. So I think X has serious problems, but it's not propaganda. It's actually very fair now politically in terms of an open debate occurring there between like established right wing, established left wing, and whatever other political ideologies you have.
Could potentially have a direct line to the Oval Office.
These Democratic leaders are simpletons. They're servants of the donor class. So they go in there like, oh, donor, give me money, please. And I made an ad. I'm Kamala Harris. I'm full of joy. Okay, well, what did that get you? And they say, oh, Jake, you're too angry. Too angry? What? You think?
Of course, the Cenk Uygur classic freak-out mode there. Okay, we're going to watch one more here, and then we'll cut it off because just one more bad take following the election. Alan Lichtman, I really hope we don't have to hear from this guy in 2028. Everyone, for some reason, thought these 13 keys, not everybody, but just like an old wives' tale gets all this attention.
More importantly, are trends that are long-term and affect the long-term future of our democracy and the keys, because the keys depend upon a rational, pragmatic electorate deciding based on governance whether the incumbent party should get 4 more years. And we've seen the explosion of some trends that have existed before, but not to this extent. Disinformation. You know, Elon Musk is
these people love the word disinformation.
I don't know how many hundreds of billions he has. He has been the director of misinformation. 2 billion views of his spreading of disinformation, not just about the economy, but about immigrants, about minorities. We've never seen disinformation at this scale. Next, we have never seen to this scale the agitation of 3 trends that have been very deeply embedded in American history.
What do you think? Do you think these are going to be rational things he's going to say, or what do you think?
Misogyny, racism, and xenophobia. You know.
Oh my goodness. These people just get this playbook. Just be divisive. Call everybody racist. You can have a job at CNN. You can have a job in the mainstream media.
The first anti-immigrant law was 1798, and Donald Trump wants to revive it. You know, first it was the French, then the Germans, then the...
So yeah, I'm going to cut that off there, but I hope that Alan Lichtman guy in 2028 does not do the circuit of all these shows. I think his analysis is literally useless. The 13 keys, he just got lucky a few times in a few past elections, and then now he's suddenly a quote-unquote expert. Ridiculous. By the way, these are the networks that told you trust the science, and then they have this completely unscientific method on here, the 13 keys. Let's talk to him every single day before the election. So anyway, With that said, I'll finish the video here, but let me know your thoughts, please, in the comments. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.